6.6, properties of logarithms. So this is going to take what we did, oh gosh, when was it? I guess Monday? Is that right? Yeah, let's go with Monday. This is going to take what we did with Monday and kick it up one notch. All right? All right, everybody got title down? Yes? All right, let's do it. Ready? All right. Oh, crap. Okay. All right, there's two properties we got to learn. All righty? Two. They're pretty easy, they're pretty basic. One of them, let's say you have a logarithm. Let's put the base of b, and let's just put its variable x. You know how these rules have x with them, right? And let's say we're adding that to log base b of y. Okay, so let's use a little logical thinking here. Log base b of x plus log base b of y. What do you think that equals? It is. Well, hold on. Say it again. XY. No plus? No plus? Okay, I will think this is x plus y. Logically, you would think that'd be it, right? Apparently, Miss Pearson's not logical. Because she's correct. Because she's correct. Okay, and that's the odd part here. So when you're adding these two logarithms together, they add to be log base b of x times y. Like Miss Pearson said. Okay, so log base b of x plus log base b of y equals log base b of x times y. So you don't add the two quantities together. Oops, wrong button. You don't add these two together. You multiply them. See that? That's one property. All right, the other property, very similar, strikingly similar. Read my mind. What am I about to write? A minus. Okay. Let's say logical again. If it's log base b of x minus log base b of y, and the first one we did was plus, and then you end up multiplying. If we're going to minus, we're going to end up what? Dividing. Good. Okay, so it's log base b of x divided by y. All right. Now the reason these work out the way they do, and these properties work the way they do, I'm not going to write anything. I'm just going to briefly mention it. It boils back to the fact that, remember when we had your calculators out, and I told you that log base, or log of 100, and put that in your calculator, and we got 2. Log of 1,000, we got 3, right? Everybody remember that? Okay. That's because whenever you put in, or whenever you do a logarithm, that result is an exponent. Okay, it's an exponent. Remember how we can switch these from logarithmic to exponential form? Same deal there. So these are very similar circumstances to exponents, hence why these look very similar to your exponent rules. Right? When you multiply two bases, you add the exponents. When you divide two bases, you subtract the exponents. That's where they come from. It's not exactly that way, but that's where they come from. All right, so today, throughout the lesson, we're going to use these two properties to simplify the problems that we're going to be given now and simplify them to problems you've already done. The ones we did the other day. The ones you guys did yesterday, basically. Okay? Any questions up to this point? So we need to make sure you remember, you write down Those two properties, they're important. Okay, they're important to remember. Make sure those are down, make sure those get memorized because you're going to use them a lot. All right? Everybody good? All right, next slide. That's unfortunate. Oh, you're not supposed to see that. Let's see, view, presentation mode. Ah, check that out. So check me out. Zoom in a little bit for you. Can everybody see that? Pretty good. So the first one here, we have log base 8 of 7 plus log base 8 of 8x equals log base 8 of 29. Okay? Now, I really think you have a 3-step process to these problems. And I think step 1 is always to get it down, or here, let's do it like this. Identify how many sides of your equations have logarithms on them. Okay, and this one it's both. All right, see how we have logs on both sides this time? Logs here, logs here. Okay, I think that's step 1. Step 2, get it so that it's one logarithm on each side. Okay? Get it so that's one logarithm on each side. So your right side, log base 8 of 29, is that one logarithm? Yes. Your left side, we have log base 8 of 7 plus log base 8 of x. That's how many logs? 2. But now we know how to combine them as one. You make it log base 8 of 7 times x equals log base 8 of 29. So see how that turns into one logarithm on each side now? With that combining on the left hand, yes? Okay. Now what can you do? What did we do the other day? We got logs on both sides, so we can just cancel them out. Good. So it leaves you with 7x equals 29. What's your next step? So x equals 29 sevenths. No reducing you can do there. That's it. Do you still have to check these? Yeah, you do. Okay. So do you make sure that it makes these variables be positive or these quantities be positive? This one does, so you're good. Okay, still got to check. Questions on number 1? Everybody good? So logs are on both sides of this equation also. Still got a plus here, so that means we're going to make it log base 8. That was a terrible 8. Let's try that again. There we go. 5x equals log base 8 of 65. From here we can do what? Cancel the logs. So 5x equals 65. Divide by 5, x equals? Let's go to 3. What's different? Not logs on both sides. Okay? Now, you still have 2 logs on the left side. Everybody see that? So you still need to get that down to 1. Okay, which we still have a plus, which means we can do it with multiplication still. Alright, so we have, make it log base 9, 2 times 2x is 4x, equals 2. Okay? Now that should look somewhat familiar to you as well, because now we have to do what? It starts with an S. Boost Mobile asks you to do it all the time. There's 2 on that wall. Switch! Not so funny now, is it, Ivo? Switch, you gotta switch, okay? Switch forms. Alright, switch it from logarithmic to exponential. Okay? So then you go, the 9 becomes the base, the 2 is the exponent, equals 4x. Ivo thought I was crazy. That's why he started laughing. What's on that wall that there's 2 of? I see. Nothing. I don't get it. So you get 9 squared equals 4x. Alright. From there, what's 9 squared? 81. So 81 equals 4x, and divide by 4. Oh, I put an x over there. That was silly of me. Put 4. There we go. So x equals 81. 4. Alrighty, now this one is probably a good gauge of the difficulty that these could become. Okay, the difficulty that they could become. What do you notice? A couple things. Okay, the parentheses, that's new. The subtract, that's new. Then what's the third thing you should notice? There's no log on the right side. Good. All 3 for 3. Good job, guys. Okay? So we have parentheses, that's new. We have subtractions, first time we've seen that, and we notice there's no log on the right side. Okay? Which means we got to get this down so that we can switch it again. Okay? So we have this subtraction here, which means we're going to do what this time? Divide. Okay? This is a full quantity that you're taking the log of, right? You're taking the logarithm of x squared plus 8. So when you set this division up, you have it as log base 3, x squared plus 8 goes on top, divided by 8 on bottom from right here, right? Give myself just a little bit more room. Equals 5. Does everybody see how that worked out? Yes? So now what's our next step? Starts with an S. Switch, okay? Because there's no logs on the left or the right side, so we got to switch. So 3 becomes your base, 5 becomes your exponent, equals x squared plus 8 divided by 8. Alrighty? What's 3 to the 5th? 243. So we get 243 equals x squared plus 8 divided by 8. Now, what do you need to do next? Multiply 8. Good. Okay, so multiply by 8 on both sides, which gives you a whopping, see if I can go here with it, 1944 equals x squared plus 8. Let's make this work just a little smaller. What's my next step then? Subtract 8, so it gives me x squared. I'm going to flip it on you, is that alright? X squared equals 1936. Now what's the last thing I got to do? Square root both sides, good. What's the square root of 1936? 44. No, you don't need to know that one off the top of your head. Okay? Is it just 44? Sure about that? No. No. Plus or minus 44. Alright? Plus or minus 44. Now, here's the deal though. You got to check both of them. Okay? So check, and typically these will still work out because you have this quantity being squared. So obviously the positive one's okay. But check the negative one. What's negative 44 times negative 44? Or at least, here, let's go with this. What sign is negative 44 times negative 44? Positive or negative? It's going to be positive, right? So positive here plus positive 8 because I make it more positive. So this will still end up being a positive quantity. So you need to make sure you include the plus or minus down here when you do this. Okay? So it's a little thing to remember, but it's part of your answer. Okay, to be honest, that's probably the most complicated. For more or less, that's probably the most complicated ones that are as they come. They don't get a whole lot more complicated than that. You just have to remember the properties, make sure that you understand the way the properties work, stuff like that. Okay? Any questions to this point? Okay.